yard is actually really, really useful. And it has another nice feature, which is it has these like feathery fern-like leaves that kind of catch a breeze, and if you sit under one on a hot summer day, it makes you feel cooler. Like a willow tree would do the same thing, although willow actually transpires water, you know, through its, what do you call willow stems? They're not fronds like a fern. Willow, I guess branches, but they hang down all, soft and everything. Like a weeping willow is what I'm talking about. Willow will actually give you a natural air conditioning on a hot day. Now, one thing my grandfather did is he would plant the mimosa trees near the willow trees, and that would kind of pull that air current through even better. So on a hot summer day in the backyard, you could sit at the picnic table and eat a watermelon, and it felt like it was 10, 15 degrees cooler than it was when you walked out of the backyard because of the way he put the trees. He had a little fish pond and a shady areas, and he was really smart in that kind of way. Breezeways and all the old ways of doing landscaping and architecture to cool off. And this is southeastern North Carolina, where it gets like 110 degrees in the summertime, and it was actually fairly pleasant out there. We had arbors with grapevines and all kinds of stuff. Like I said, really smart that way. And an overstory of pecan trees, big old pecan trees. So there were all these layers of trees, and there was always an exchange of air. There were wind currents, air currents, breeze, and plenty of shade and water. And yeah, it was really nice, really, really nice. So y'all, that's going to wrap it up actually for Mimosa. I make a formula every spring of mimosa, stinging nettle, mullein, thyme, and a little lobelia. And I have inherited asthma and some allergies like to pine trees, which is can be pretty tough in North Carolina. I find that it really, really helps. I've got my nettles and ragweed. Put ragweed in there too. Nettles, ragweed, and mimosa to work as antihistamines, reduce mast cells, basically. I've got my thyme and mullein as expectorants to clear the lungs, and I've got a little bit of lobelia in there to open the lungs. It's a bronchial dilator in small amounts. In large amounts, it could actually make you nauseous. It's very much like tobacco in that way. So that's just, I eyeball it. I get a handful of this and a handful of that. And what's interesting is of all those plants, I really have an allergy to ragweed. So when I take ragweed in tincture form in this formula, I don't react to ragweed pollen. So I think most people could probably benefit from a formula like that. But as I always say, you do your own research and you make your own decisions. So y'all have a great week, and I will talk to you next time.
The information in this podcast is not intended to diagnose or treat any disease or condition. Nothing I say or write has been evaluated or approved by the FDA. I'm not a doctor. The U.S. government does not recognize the practice of herbal medicine, and there is no governing body regulating herbalists. Therefore, I'm really just a guy who studies herbs. I'm not offering any advice. I won't even claim that anything I write or say is accurate or true. I can tell you what herbs have been traditionally used for. I can tell you my own experience and if I believe an herb has helped me. I cannot nor would I tell you to do the same. If you use an herb anyone recommends, you are treating yourself. You take full responsibility for your health. Humans are individuals and no two are identical. What works for me may not work for you. You may have an allergy, a sensitivity, an underlying condition that no one else even shares and you don't even know about. Be careful with your health. By continuing to listen to my podcast or read my blog, you agree to be responsible for yourself, for your own research, make your own choices, and not to blame me for anything ever.